Did you really think I was gonna stop doing these Polkadot Eco update videos? Well, not really, of course. I will never do that, right? I'll always be supporting the Polkadot ecosystem as long as it's alive and as long as it survives. If it dies out, then we'll have to look for something else, right? But I don't think the Polkadot Eco is going anywhere. But today we're gonna be talking about the latest updates from Polkadex, which has got the ticker symbol PDEX for the token, which is an ERC20 token at the moment, but will be on Substrate because it is the most bullish DEX that I could talk about in today's video. I've already done a dedicated review on this. I've done a price prediction video, and I will be talking about Polkadex as I've been invited once again on BitBoy Crypto's channel. It's actually going to happen on Monday. There's going to be a live stream, so you can see me live on BitBoy Crypto's channel, which is the largest cryptocurrency YouTube channel at the moment, and I think it's going to stay that way. I just don't see it changing anytime soon. I mean, he's at 919,000 subscribers, or almost 1 million. Some people don't like him, some people love him, but he's got a lot of followers, right? He's got cool videos. He does a lot of videos. He does 3 videos every day. And I'm actually going to be invited to one of these series that he's doing, which is called Around the Blockchain, where he's basically going to talk about different cryptocurrencies in each of these series, right? So he's done one on Ethereum, he's done one on Chainlink, I believe was the last one. Yeah, Chainlink to $100. And he's going to do one on Polkadot, I think, because he has invited me on Monday. So Monday is going to be when we're going to be talking about Polkadot, I think. I'm not 100% sure. He didn't confirm that to me yet. But I did tell him that if he's going to talk about Polkadot to invite me, because I would be interested to talk about that and kind of give my thoughts. And of course, when I'm going to be talking about Polkadot and where I think it's actually going to go, I'm also going to give some of the reasons as to why Polkadot is going to get to where it's going to get, right? And of course, what is actually fueling the Polkadot ecosystem if it's not for all these different projects building on it? And Polkadex is one of them, right? This DEX is absolutely awesome, right? You've got the order book. There's no other DEX with an order book. You're going to have the fiat on-ramp. You're going to be able to take part in IDOs if you hold PDEX. So PDEX is going to have a lot of utilities. Also governance, as you know, because within the Polkadot ecosystem, you can take part in governance to vote for proposals, changes that get applied to a specific project, right? So yeah, I'm super hyped on Polkadex, and I will be talking about Polkadex when I go to his channel. Just so you know. And also I'm going to be talking about some other projects too if I have the chance. It depends on the slot, but Polkadex is a definite. Chainx is a possibility, Darwinia is a possibility, but Polkadex is the focus because at the end of the day, Polkadex is going to help the Polkadot ecosystem big time by having this DEX where all these different tokens from Substrate are going to be tradable on there, right? And again, that's not going to be like one of the major key players in the Polkadot ecosystem. Of course, we're going to have the bridges, we're going to have the smart contracts like Moonbeam, for example, we're going to have the DeFi platforms like Akala, but people already know about these, right? These are already hyped, whereas Polkadex is more under the radar at under 35 million market cap. And I've said this about Chainx when Chainx was trading at I think it was at $5 or so, or $4, and it was under 50 million market cap, right? Been talking about that being under the radar. Now it's over 100 million market cap, so it's doing well, right? It had some pullbacks, but it's doing well. Whereas Polkadex is still under the radar if you think about it, even though it is trading on KuCoin, they had this trading competition. But enough about that. Let's actually talk about what are the latest news. So what I really like about Polkadex, aside from what's to come, of course, when they're going to launch in August, is their marketing strategy, because they tweet like crazy, and they tweet good tweets, not just hype tweets, right? They tweet the actual updates on what Polkadex is going to achieve. So this is an example here from the 4th of May. Did you know that Asset Management Palette controls all the assets in Polkadex? It handles the transfer, deposit, and withdrawals of crypto assets into Polkadot network through parachain. Snowfork, which is of course one of these common good parachains that's going to deal with smart contracts, it is definitely going to get that slot, right? It's going to bond as a parachain together with Polka BTC, which is going to be the bridge between Bitcoin and Polkadot. And also with RenVM, so it also manages fiat assets issued through Polkadex Cloud. The link can be found in the bio. And there's also 3 levels of asset control in Polkadex. So what's cool is that with all these different tweets, we're actually learning more, right? So user level, cloud level, system level. They're basically like breaking down their white paper into these tweets, if you think about it, right? They're trying to find ways to promote themselves so that people can learn more about it. Now, there's the user level, the cloud level, and the system level. Let's look at this. So did you know that projects that require more performance can implement their palettes in Polkadex parachain? projects that use our parachain can directly access Polkadex exchange for trading tokens and listing new tokens. Okay, so actually Polkadex is gonna turn into a giant. If you think about it, it's gonna have its own parachain slot, as you can see here in this image. That's what they're trying to do. They're gonna take part in those parachain auctions. But aside from that, they're gonna be helping other projects to implement those pallets. So that's awesome, right? It's going to have another use case on top of those other utilities that we already know for holding the PDEX token. Now, yesterday, Polkadex has finalized this decentralized recovery mechanism for the user's funds from the off-chain worker. It uses state-of-the-art technologies like IPFS, Substrate, off-chain workers, and on-chain governance. It also enables Polkadex to have an off-chain order book, but unlike other Layer 2 solutions, their decentralized recovery mechanism safeguards the users from bad operators of off-chain order books. It brings protocol-level security for user funds. Also, it's the world's best insurance policy for order book based exchanges, refunds the users with the exact amount of funds they had within the next 2 blocks. That's 12 seconds. Please tell me which crypto exchange insurance company refunds users in 12 seconds, right? So that's pretty big if you think about it, right? Now, Polkadex's parachain is also going to be handling the bridging liquidity between Polkadot and Polkadex solo chain. It has an ink-based smart contract palette installed so that other projects that do not need a dedicated parachain can use our parachain to deploy their ideas. So that's awesome. Like, people just don't realize how big Polkadex is actually going to be. I've been saying this time and time again, even before. If you've been watching this channel, you already know I've been bullish on Polkadex before they even announced the listing. Right? Of course, I wasn't able to buy in at $2. I did buy in at a higher price, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's still a very low market cap, right? It's under 35 million, as we've seen. So yeah, they've also held an AMA, by the way. So if you join their Telegram group, you will see that AMA there. They've held this recently. This was actually on the 5th. This was yesterday that they held the AMA. So if you scroll up through the messages on their Telegram group, you'll be able to find some information on that. So yeah. Next, let's talk about Edgeware. Okay, I haven't spoken about Edgeware in a long time now. It's not really one of these under the radar tokens, right? But it's still doing good, right? If you think about it, it's a 125 million market cap. So it's not a gem. I wouldn't call it a gem. Anything under 50 million, I would say is a gem. Maybe even under 20 million. Although I would be more suspicious of the ones under 10 million unless they have some kind of backing. Like Katon is a special example, right? Even though it's like 5 or 6 million market cap right now, it's a special example because it's got the Darwinian network behind it, covering it. Like, so we've got Ring, which is the main token, and then Katon is just the commitment token, which is generating those high staking rewards. So with that, it's a different story, right? But normally, if we've got this independent project and they've only got their native token, and it's under 10 million market cap, I am a bit suspicious or skeptical about it, and I just would have to do more research before I could safely say, okay, it is a low cap gem. Whereas with Edgeware, right, it's 125 million. It's got some development going on, right, and not just some development. We'll talk about it in a moment. But it's good development if you think about it, because they know how to market themselves, right? So let's start off with this from the 28th of April. They've got a pool of 100,000. Is that 100? Yeah, 100,000 ECEP tokens for the Edgeware community engagement points for AMA participants to grab. Be sure to check out the Vortex multi-chain electronic data exchange and GDPR compliant. I think they wanted to say GDPR compliant digital identity solutions, which you could find here for the 4th pillar. So they've got this partnership going on with them, also with OnFinality. Another partner joins the free community shared node service. Welcome aboard, Hey Edgeware and EDG developers. Get your free endpoint if you're interested on Finality. So yes, also AMAs, right? They're holding AMAs. They're trying to spread the word about it. Zion. Okay, so this was the one which is linked to the AMA. What else do we have here? Okay, designer Sean Ford has completed his community commissioned and non-hierarchically managed redesign of the Edgeware brand, iterating on our existing identity. See the whole journey of this thread before reaching the conclusion of the process with his brand Bible, and that will now be integrated across the emerging EDG ecosystem. Big thanks to Sean Ford for his patience and talent. So as you can see, he's created a logo here, and he's basically changing the logo, the brand, right? And this is the bigger news here. So Knit Finance is thrilled to partner with Edgeware, a community-owned, fairly distributed, self-sustainable blockchain system built on Substrate. Knit Finance will integrate Edgeware tokens on its multi-chain platform by developing wrapped KEDG. So here we go. Like ever since we've seen Ethereum do that wrapped ETH version, right? Ever since they've developed that, now we're seeing more projects following the same kind of model and generating all these wrapped tokens, and we're going to see more and more of this, especially with the Polkadot ecosystem, right? We've got the wrapped Bitcoin, if you think about it, right? We've got, it's not called wrapped Bitcoin, but it's a Polka BTC, which is the Bitcoin version of on Polkadot. If you think about it, you need to tokenize it. We've got XBTC from Chainx. We've got REN BTC, right, from REN. So yeah, there's going to be more and more wrapped versions if you think about it. So yeah, what's Edgeware? Decentralized applications for an open society, community owned, fairly distributed, and powered by Substrate. And they've got 10,000 followers. So yeah, I mean, they're partnering, they're building, they're not sleeping. That's important. But I think that they're all waiting for these parachain auctions to finally start. I think everybody's just waiting for these parachain auctions to finally start. Everyone's probably tired by now, you know, waiting. But I do think that the big event that's coming up, Polkadot Decoded in May, I think it's on the 18th of May or 19th of May. When that comes out, I think that's when they're going to announce the Kusama parachain auction launch date, in my opinion. Because Dan Reeser did say in the interview with me that he'd like to see 14 days given to Kusama stakers for them to unbound, even though they only needed 7 days. And I don't think there's that much time for them to just announce it now, especially before the Polkadot event, right? So yes, I think that the Polkadot Decoded event is when we're finally going to hear an official announcement. So yes, it's a 2-day event, so make sure you take part or somehow participate. Maybe if they have some kind of recording somewhere, maybe you could watch it on live stream or something. I'm not entirely sure because there are ways to participate to actually watch that event, and I'm going to try and find out more information how we can do that, and I'll likely cover it in a video. But I know that you can subscribe to actually join the event, but I'm not sure how much you have to pay to get a ticket. I haven't looked into that specific bit yet, so I need to do more research on that. But I think, yeah, personally, I think that's when they're going to announce the parachain auctions. It just makes sense to me, considering that we've been waiting for so long. They've likely delayed it for some specific reasons, right? And we've seen Gavin Wood's tweets or posts about the different phases that they're planning to develop, and then on phase 3 the parachain auctions for Kusama. So I think that it's going to be kind of at the same time with Polkadot Decoded, right? I think we're going to get a date, in my opinion. I could be wrong, don't get me wrong, right? But maybe we're going to get a date, and I do hope that we're going to get a date because everybody's eager, everyone's excited for it. So yeah, that's it from today's video. I just wanted to quickly cover up this information to just show you that Edgeware is still doing stuff, and we'll be covering them as soon as they get bigger updates. They just haven't had too much to do, right? Too much to say, too much to post to say, okay, it's a wow, right? They're working, but it's not a wow yet, so we're waiting for that wow. And I think most of these projects don't have a wow yet, apart from Akala. I think Akala is the only wow so far in the Polkadot Eco. And maybe Moonbeam too, because Moonbeam is also getting backing from Binance. And with those smart contracts and those partnerships that they're building, I think Akala and Moonbeam are going to be the two most hyped Polkadot Eco tokens and projects. And the rest of them are going to be growing as they post these updates and as they build, because at the end of the day, if they have something to show, people are going to trust them. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.